This episode of Wookiees on X-Wing is brought to you in part by Metagames, Atlantic Canada's newest gaming and tournament center.
You can check it out at metagames.com. That's metagames with a Z.com.
Long live Metagames! Welcome back to Wookiees on X-Wing. I'm John.
And I'm Matt.
And today we have two returning lists. We have Shane Spinney facing off Gizmo, and Shane has the Drunk Tank list. So that is two Decimators. We have Captain Oicunn with the Dauntless title. We have Mara Jade and Predator. As well, we have Rear Admiral Chiraneau with the man himself, Darth Vader, as well as Veteran Instincts. And what does Gizmo have for us, Matt?
Gizmo is flying his Rebel list of Dash Rendar with an engine upgrade, the Outrider title, and a heavy laser cannon. Push the limit, and Kyle Katarn as a crewman. So we have the Donut of Doom. And then the Gold Squadron Y-Wing with a twin laser turret and the R3 Stressinator. And then a simple Bandit Squadron Headhunter with advanced homing missiles and a Munitions Failssafe, just in case he misses.
And for those of you who are just joining us, we're at the Gamezilla 2016 Store Championship event. This is our 7th game, and we have one of the things that is important about this game is that it was set in early March, so we don't have access to the Wave 7 ships. We don't have access to ships like the TIE Advanced Prototype, as well as the guidance chip that blister provides. Now, with the Dauntless title, one of the things that might be played incorrectly here is that Shane was not aware of the FAQ that says if it executes a green maneuver or overlaps another ship, and if it executes a green maneuver or overlaps another ship and uses the Dauntless to perform a free action, the stress it receives is not removed by the green maneuver.
So a little timing issue there. Basically, your stack order, as it were.
Yes, and for those of you who don't know what the Dauntless does is after you execute a maneuver that causes you to overlap a ship, you may perform one free action, and then you receive a stress token. So it's a nice big dump truck. You just run over things, bash them, you get actions. It's all gravy.
Well, especially with Oicunn, because he does damage when he rams ships, and you might as well be rewarded if you're ramming someone, so yeah, let's go for it.
Prepare for ramming speed.
And then with Mara Jade on there, he really wants to get in and just bubble out stress to any ship within range 1 that doesn't have it. She can... Some games she won't do anything, but other games she's going to be really annoying.
Yeah, Mara Jade is really powerful at board control, especially on Oicunn, who just wants to ram people, wants to get right up in your face. And that's the thing with the Decimators here is I want to get in as close as possible to you. I want to get right in your face, get away from me, but I'm going to blast you if you get away from me too.
Yeah. And this is also, the funny thing, when I saw this, when I saw Shane's list, I was just flabbergasted that he managed to fit 2 character Decimators in here. But this list is really, I don't feel like rolling defense dice today. I only brought my attack dice.
Yeah. And it's not only that, it's when you have something like Rear Admiral Chiraneau with Veteran Instincts, you can fire and forget when it comes to things like really high pilot skill fighters or arc dodgers such as the Phantom. And then on top of that, you have Darth Vader. So, look at that. That's a whatever.
That's a cute little Phantom you got.
I'm just gonna fire and blow it up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am a big fan of the no skill involved VT-49 Decimators.
No, it's funny. So here we got Dash up there just blasting his way through that debris cloud. Dash doesn't care.
Throwing up the deuce, just doesn't even care.
Yeah.
With that heavy laser cannon engine upgrade and Kyle Katarn, you can just get some serious action economy out of that. And then on top of that, you have the Bandit Squadron here for a nice blocker once it's fired off its missiles. Now, one of the interesting things about facing off against this, for all intents and purposes, this is a skewed list. When taking the advanced homing missiles off the Bandit Squadron and firing it into something like the Decimator, the missile's not really doing a whole hell of a lot.
You're probably not missing.
No, you're definitely handing out that one crit, but that's all it's doing. and the amount of effort that it requires to set that attack up, is almost more effort than it's worth at this point.
It can be.
However, this little guy here with the TLT, that's going to be so much fun. You are guaranteed 2 points, but you got to really make them count.
You are, basically, you have to try hard not to get your 2 points of damage.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now, the real trick with facing off against the Decimators, we talked about a whole lot about how awesome they are, or how awesome they can be in dealing out the damage that they're going to do and being annoying. But when fighting against them, the real trick here is, who do you fire at? Do you deal with Oicunn and his stress bubble, or do you try to just burn down Rear Admiral Chiraneau, who has Darth Vader?
Yeah. Yeah, Chiraneau is the dangerous one, but he's also the one that's probably least likely to live as long, just because he is going to be hurting himself quite a bit using Vader. But you have 16 health.
Yeah, you definitely have a lot of health, and this is where it's going to be really tricky, because Dash can deal the damage, but that's one ship.
Yeah.
The Y-Wing, I almost think that it's not worth it to fire the TLT. I think it's better to just fire your primary attack dice.
Well, if you get in there, if you get at range 1, it's not a bad thing.
Well, if you get range 1, you have a target lock, you get some actions going. I think it's worth it. You get 3 potential hits versus 2. It's a risk, but
you can crit.
Yeah, that's the thing. Against these big ships, you really want crits in.
Yeah.
Where the Bandit Squadron, again, you're only doing piddly damage round after round, and you don't have the durability to last that long. So it's going to be really tough for Gizmo. I think he can pull it out, and if he pulls it out, where it's going to happen, it's with the Outrider. It's the skill and patience with the Outrider is going to win in the game.
Definitely. And looks like Spinny he's chosen his target. He wants to kill that Y-Wing dead.
Yeah, he does not want to get stress.
No. And firing at range 3, though, so no pilot ability from Chiraneau. And the Y-Wing getting the 2 defense dice. Gizmo did had to burn his focus token. And he did... looks like he may have taken a point from that.
We got some heavy...
There's the Outrider.
Heavy laser cannon love.
Yeah, and that is actually... He is focusing on Oicunn with Dash here.
Alright. I think maybe it has to do with the fact that he just doesn't want to get run over, and he doesn't want to have to deal with the stress that Jade provides.
That's quite possible here. So checking the range 1 for Oicunn, so he is now going to be returning fire into the Y-Wing. And that was... Well, I get a target lock, so not phenomenal, but better than nothing. And there's 2 versus 1 defense. He gets another point through onto the Y-Wing.
Mm.
So not bad so far. That Y-Wing has come out through this remarkably well.
Yeah, all things considered. The other philosophy that might be why Gizmo is firing at Oicunn over Chiraneau is that because of Darth Vader, as you mentioned before, Chiraneau is going to be killing himself. Why not let Chiraneau do some of that work for you before piling the damage onto him?
Yeah. And here is... So, a nice thing about... Well, that's interesting. Knowing the... Knowing the range. And here we go. So, we've got... So, there's the TLT. It's coming out.
Yep. Some nice attack dice.
It is quite nice. And it looked like he thought he had the BTL title there. He's actually shot... That was a little interesting, but... Or perhaps he didn't roll enough the first time.
Oh, okay.
But Spinny should not have to stress here. And there is... So that was the Headhunter firing. Again, putting a little bit more damage into Oicunn. You think Gizmo may be... Well, he does have 3 upgrades on that... There is 3 upgrades on that Y-Wing.
All right, so
it looks like
we might have the list written out wrong because it is a 0-point upgrade. It might not have gotten written down. So he is flying a Heaver style stress bot.
Yeah, so that's on us. We'll have to keep that in mind. And so he definitely has to be careful with this Y-Wing now of you have to keep it relevant. You know, with the weapons, its turret weapon being locked forward, it needs to be quite careful with what it does. And it looks like the headhunter opted to break contact. Doesn't really want to run at the asteroid or run directly into the teeth of 2 decimators.
No, it doesn't want to be that close to that level of power, especially when it can just get blown the hell up. Quite frankly, you have exactly what's going to happen here. Oicunn has a chance of running him over. That's 1 point of damage off the bat.
Yeah, and it looks... That might look good. That's going to be close.
That was terrible. Now, the Decimator is awkward when it comes to ships like this, but again, there was no judge call here when it comes to knocking ships, and yeah, that's the right course of action. Taking the ship off. Now we won't know for certain. That looks like it was a bump, and they just nudged it. So
yeah, so he's bringing it back. You know, we've seen it. Just be careful with what you're doing, guys. You know, use us as an example. Just be careful with what you're doing.
Yeah.
But so there's Oicunn. He does get the clip in, manages to, and just by looking at their initial positions, I would say he would have gotten it anyway.
Yeah, they're fairly close to where it was originally. That's one of the beautiful things about having a camera, though, is that, we could go back and have a look to see where it was, right? But it looks like they got really good understanding of where the positions were. They've learned from their mistakes on the sheer footprint of that ship and making sure that they're not going to bump it again. 3 pegs, 4 pegs might have been a good way of dealing with that as well. But here we have Oicunn flying up. He's going to be able to take some shots at another ship. And then on top of that, we have Chiraneau. I don't know what he's going to do. I know it's going to be awesome. And that Y-Wing is not long for this world.
No, especially... Well, he did take the ram damage there, so that was nice.
Just another point to deal with this Y-Wing.
Yeah. And... Though, there is... With Dash having to fly against 2 decimators, he does have something as an advantage, though. Is the fact he's a donut doesn't really matter when he's flying against dump trucks.
Yeah, they're not going to outmaneuver him. And,
no.
And on top of that...
They're not going to outrun him. They're not going to outmaneuver him.
Oh, yeah. He has such great access to the engine upgrade as well, so... He's
got boost. He natively has the barrel roll.
Yeah.
That ship... Yeah, it loves flying against shuttles. It loves flying against decimators. It doesn't care.
It's not going to have any kind of problem dealing those 4 attack dice turn after turn against these things.
Yeah. Now that headhunter, if he survives, next turn he's flying through a debris cloud. A debris cloud, thankfully, is not quite as debilitating as an asteroid.
Yeah.
You're a lot less likely to take damage.
Yeah.
But it looks like he really didn't want to block him in his own Y-Wing, didn't want to have to try to run through an asteroid.
Yeah, I get that. It's a little unfortunate that he might lose the Bandit without even firing those missiles, so ultimately that Bandit might have all of its points wasted, but this is not why we have seen this Bandit here. This is not why... Against Decimators is not why he's included them into a squadron.
Against Decimators, the Bandit's there of don't shoot Dash.
Yeah.
And so here's Chiraneau. Let's see what Chiraneau is going to do. Is he stepping on the gas? Oh, he is following Oicunn in. So opting not to take actions. A little surprising, but at the same time, he does have the pilot ability of Chiraneau here, so there is some dice modification on the attack.
On top of which you have Vader.
Yeah, it is nice when you can target lock, to be able to, but in the grand scheme of things...
Well, when you're when you have someone like Rear Admiral Chiraneau, you have focus, you have target lock. Losing your actions isn't as big of a deal.
Yeah.
But making sure that you're not getting stressed, that's where it's at. I don't know if he's able to clear that Y-Wing's arc. I doubt it.
Yeah, well, it looks like Chiraneau did... Well, he kept his target lock from the previous turn.
Yeah. So
And that is 4 attack dice into that gold squadron. 3 are going. Looks like 3 are going through. That's 2, a hit and a crit. And it's
a direct hit. So
that Y-wing has 2 health left.
Yeah, it would almost be worth it to Vader him. And he's doing it.
He is.
And it looks like...
That's a thrust control. Okay.
All right.
So it stresses him out.
Even further.
He's still alive, though, so that gold squadron will be able to return fire into Chiraneau.
Yeah, you'll definitely be able to stress him out. And he won't be able to get 3 shots in because he's within range 1. That's the only downside of the TLT, is that it only works at range 2 to 3.
Yeah, but here we go. So we've got Dash. They're just checking the line of sight on that asteroid.
Closest point to closest point. Let's see if it gets some obstruction bonus.
That is going to be some very interesting geometry.
And he's just pointing out that it's Oicunn that he wants to fire his heavy laser cannon at.
Shane's like, no! Don't.
Not my ram!
Not my ram. Alright, and so there is... We've got the target lock coming out of Dash. And we've got pushed focus. 4 hits. And that is... Yeah, so it looks like Oicunn was not obstructed there. Taking a boatload of damage. Well, 4 more. He's got to be... He is close.
Very close to death. I think another really solid round from Dash Rendar will be able to fry Oicunn, and that's a little sad.
Well, he's got... Yeah, he has 7 damage cards on him. So, Dash can't outright kill him next turn, but it'll be close.
Well, if you get some crits in, you might not be able to get crits off of the initial hits, initial dice roll, but after dice modification, all bets are off.
And
so
there was Oicunn shooting at the Bandit and only did a point. So, all right.
Lucky Bandit.
Nice. Very nice Bandit. And we have the Gold Squadron, range 1 into Chiraneau for 3 damage, completely stripping the shields and getting a point through.
It's good that you get those points in as quickly as you can to sort of really, really punish Vader whenever he comes out.
Yeah, nice last hurrah of that Gold Squadron pilot. He's only got 1 health.
He is so not long for this world.
No, and here, well, there is a Katarn through the debris cloud.
That guy is so stressed right now.
He is so stressed. He is going to stay stressed. And it looks like he gets away with flying through the debris. So.
And he's going to fly right back through there.
Yeah, so. Hopefully he can green maneuver through it next turn, so he
sheds one of the effectively 3 stress that he'll have.
So he'll be at a net 0 gain of stress. And that Y-wing is clipping that asteroid. Let's see, does he blow himself up? Survey says he does not. That is a focus.
That was super close. That could have been a unceremonious death for the Y-wing.
Yeah. But it does. Well, whether or not Shane wants to... Oh, he might just ram him here. He's going to try to ram him here.
Well, he does not get there.
Oh, he's so close.
But that means that he can just blow him up. With
so very close.
Yeah, it would have been really good to ram him and blow him up that way.
That would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
Just a nice little
beep,
love
beep.
tap.
Kaboom!
And here we have Dash is going to just continue to harass. Well, a little closer than I would have expected.
Yeah, but you still have access to the things like the barrel roll, and that's just
definitely
This is gonna get him right out of there if he wants to. I'd be surprised if he didn't take that.
Oh, he's definitely gonna. And that does set you up nicely to continue the nice wide angle turns, and hopefully just continue strafing into Oicunn here.
Yeah, keep in mind that Oicunn's on a large base ship. It is very difficult to go slowly when you have a large base.
It really is, yeah. And now if that Bandit does manage to survive and Dash rolls well, we may see the end of Oicunn.
Maybe,
but we'll see.
It's kind of unfortunate that we're probably never seeing those missiles being fired at this game because just with how the Bandit might blow up from any of these things.
Well, and the nature of the missiles, like it's 1 point of damage where
you could get more.
You could get more. Now, if Dash leaves Oicunn on 1, oh yeah, shoot them.
Yeah.
Go for it.
But I seriously that we're going to see those missiles, especially with the sheer amount of stress that Bandit squadron's getting.
Poor guy.
In my mind, any solitary Bandit squadron pilot is Burt Reynolds from Smokey and the Bandit. So just having a stressed out Burt Reynolds is never a good thing.
Well, let's hear what Chiraneau is going to do. Is he going to just offhandedly bat that Y-Wing, or is he going to try to assist Oicunn here and put some damage on the Bandit? Well, he is going to, as his action, shift his lock to Dash.
Yeah, he needs to start laying the groundwork for dealing with Dash.
Yeah, and Dash is, through the heroic sacrifice and intervention of his wingman, Dash is unmolested so far.
Yes. And that Y-Wing is not doing anything this turn.
And that is Chiraneau. That is definitely Chiraneau into the Y-Wing. So there's the pilot ability for 2 crits, and that Y-Wing just... he's toast. Even if that were not a direct hit, he is toast.
Yes. That was one of the things that I'm not used to nudging. One of the things that I'm not used to seeing not on Chiraneau is expose, the EPT expose.
Yes.
It's such a staple on a Decimator, so not seeing that there is a little confusing, but it's getting the work done regardless.
Well, it is nice, just the expose, yeah, you're not losing any of 8 dice, because, well, you don't have any to give up, but him being pilot skill 8 base, putting up to 10 is a really nice bump of just, any of these really scary things that are pilot skill 9 or less, I go before them.
Yeah. Oh, and it's a throwback to when Phantoms were more popular in the meta. And in this particular event, there was a couple of Phantoms, and for the most part, I think Phantoms are actually making a comeback.
Yeah, they're just a fun ship to fly, and a lot of people getting used to, the still kind of new decloaking of when you have to do it.
Oh, for sure. I also like to think that Emperor Palpatine is one of the reasons why these Phantoms are making
Definitely,
a comeback.
it's Phantoms. You see, Suntir Fel a lot. Vader.
Yeah.
Anything that just likes that little bit of extra oomph or defensiveness with dice modification.
For sure. All right, here we get some more attacks. This time from Oicunn.
Oicunn into the Bandit. So Dash would have just continuously piling fire into Oicunn there. And that Bandit looks alright. He is come out of this remarkably well. Takes his 2nd point of damage there. So he's down to hull. And now he has to decide, is he going to use the missiles to go for that really reliable crit? Or is he going to just use his blasters? Because he does have... he has Chiraneau target locked right now, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
no modification on Oicunn.
Yeah, just blast your blasters, try to deal the final death blow.
And that was, well...
No, he went missiles.
he went missile.
He went missiles, and it paid off. Gave him a direct hit, but...
Very nice.
It means that Oicunn is going to be around for a little bit longer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he did have the target lock on Chiraneau, so decided to use it. My guess here, he's probably just assuming that Dash is going to just completely kill Oicunn.
Okay.
It doesn't seem unlikely.
I want to see Oicunn run over that Bandit. That's what I want to see.
Run him down, yeah.
Beep, beep. I just do it. Oicunn has no brakes.
No, he really does not.
There is no red maneuver on that dial.
And let's see, he does have the turn. Oh, no, he is going completely the other way.
He juked him.
No! Oh. So there's a gain of a stress and then a loss for the Greens, so let's see, does he crit himself? He does not. Thankfully enough.
That would be hilarious, I have to admit.
Yeah, and... Oh, it looks like... that. Alright, so the lovely ability to slow play with large ships.
Oh,
Just dash, easy, moseying forward, one forward. Does not need to barrel roll to go after Oicunn this turn. Just focusing, pushing for his target lock. He smells blood. He's going after that Decimator.
Yeah, no kidding.
And because he removed a stress on his turn, on his maneuver, so gets the focus from Kyle. And he's going to be focused both offensively and defensively.
It's a good way to have it. I'm a really big fan of Kyle Katarn's ability. I haven't seen a whole lot of him, but every time I see him on a ship, especially with the internal synergy of a squadron such as this, it just works so well.
He's a nice upgrade. He's a really nice crewman. And, well, it looks like Dash doesn't care about focusing defensively because Chiraneau laid on the gas.
Yeah.
And it looks like Chiraneau is now going to try to swat at that headhunter. Now, all he needs to do to kill that headhunter is get a point of damage through.
Yes. Which he does, because that's 3 hits.
It's 3 hits, and he doesn't have to Vader to kill him, he just kills him.
Yeah, exactly.
So a nice benefit there. However, Chiraneau is not in a good spot. He only has 9 health remaining. Say only, but in terms of a Decimator, it is only.
That's only a couple of rounds of heavy laser cannon action.
Yeah, and so this is dash into Oicunn, focusing up, and just
Oicunn's toast.
Absolutely deleting that Decimator.
Kablam. Can I have my Decimator back?
And so now
Dash says no.
This is Shane. Interestingly enough, Shane actually has the uphill battle here.
Yes.
Just by nature of what the ships are and the fact that Dash is completely unscathed.
Yeah, that is very scary. Sheesh. Yeah, Chiraneau's. I don't know what he's gonna do. He's gonna have to do some funkiness in order to deal with Dash.
I would say go as fast as you can and try to get this thing turned around, and then come screaming back towards the YT as fast as you can. But even then, it's still not a good option.
And this is one of while the strength of the Decimator is that you can fly around and be lazy and relax and not have a good time and fire your turrets. The downside is because you're setting the bar at as basically an automatic, you can't really just get the performance out of these ships that you need when it comes to playing against something like the YT-2400.
Yeah, it's as with any skew, you run into your rock to your scissors.
Yeah,
you're gonna have a bad time. And Gizmo did well. He kept Dash out of the fight exactly where he needed to be on the periphery. Fed his little snub fighters into the Decimators here. But
yeah, I mean the snub fighters weren't really the big threat to the Decimators. The big threat was the heavy laser cannon blasting every round.
Yeah, and it looks like Shane is putting the engines on. He wants to either keep the 2400 out of range.
Okay.
But with a heavy laser cannon, range 3 doesn't mean anything. So he probably just wants to get turned around here and come get nose in, try as best he can to get range 1 with that thing.
Well, the at this point, though, one of the things that would be going through my mind is, okay, I need to figure out... I don't really have a lot of options in order dealing with these Dash character, especially with just the sheer maneuverability of him.
Yeah.
So, what can I do in order to put this a little bit more favorably for me? Either just make it so difficult to fire at him that you can like basically fly around and try to go for time, or try to slow play him trick, but that's really hard, especially since he's already behind you. The last thing is just try to do as much damage as possible before you go out to get that MOV.
Yeah, because right now, well, the players are pretty close to tied. It is a pretty close game. But once Gizmo gets another pointer, well, gets another point in on Chiraneau, he gets half the value. There, so there's at range 2 here. It is through an asteroid, so Dash, it looks like it's through an asteroid. Dash may have 3 defense dice here. But Chiraneau should be able to trigger his pilot ability, getting a reroll from the target lock. So that rerolls into a hit. There's the pilot ability. So it is through the asteroid.
All right. So that pilot ability might be the hidden winner, but he still has to deal with the shields that's on Dash. Those crits are nice in theory, but they're not doing you anything until those shields are gone.
And right now, Chiraneau really can't afford to Vader himself.
No.
And with all that, he gets 1 point through into Dash.
And here we get some nice rerolls from the target lock. Turns into 3 hits.
Yeah, and one of those looks like that may be a crit that sticks. But so there is the rock defending. That is a crit that sticks. And it's another direct hit.
Oh, that is just salt in the wound.
Ouch.
When you have a strategy, and that strategy is dealing as many direct hits as you possibly can, you don't expect it to actually work for you. It's working for Gizmo. I don't understand how he's just handing out these direct hits for these Decimators, but it's not what the Decimator wants to see.
No, it really isn't. And so here is Dash just being... Well, he's getting the work done he needs. And this is just... that hurts. And so there is the Kyle focus. Action for target lock. And now we'll see if he decides to push.
Well, the funny thing is that, yeah, I'm not sure exactly where the Decimator is going to go. Right, so he is...
So pushing to boost.
Yeah. The thing is, this is one of those instances where the Decimator doesn't even want to get into range 3. Because as soon as he gets within range 3, that's that's benefiting the Outrider.
That Outrider becomes devilishly hard to hit. And so he is. So Shane, again, just playing the one forward here.
But even with the one forward, look how much distance there is between them.
And that looks like that was enough to push it over the range.
We'll see. We'll see here in a second. So we get some... Oh, that is pitiful.
And so there is the focus spent for 1 hit. That was into range 3. Dash don't care. Dash gets 1 evade. And he is focused and target locked for the returning heavy laser cannon fire.
Yeah. I mean, even just trying to get the Outrider down to half just seems to be a pain. So, yeah. If
well, Shane does have a defense dice here.
No, he's not. Not because
heavy laser cannon.
That's correct.
All right.
Secondary weapon systems.
He got the defense from the rock before.
Yeah, exactly.
There's 3 more.
So this would be what I'm doing, considering how Gizmo is just slow playing at this point. All right, just burn it, get out of there. If he's gonna be slow, you just give yourself some distance and force him to come to you. And maybe in the meantime, while he's slow playing, you can get yourself turned around and then try to get within the range 1 band for nice broadsiding.
Yeah, that would have been awesome about 9 health ago.
Yeah, that's true.
Unfortunately, that Decimator only has 3 health left.
Oh,
Because there's 5 sitting on face down cards, and then 4 sitting on crits.
dirty.
And so a barrel roll in, just looking to keep the distance, try to, well, keep that Decimator from getting out of range. And so here Shane looks like trying to get the rock between himself and Dash.
Yeah.
Definitely not going to work with that.
No, the angle is going to be like that. The rock's not doing much.
And here's Chiraneau firing back. Gets a couple hits. Now let's see if he lands any of those. Nope, Dash, being his evasive, slippery self. No hits taken there. Firing back with the heavy laser cannon.
Just finish it. This is like
it.
shooting fish in a barrel.
That's 3. Doesn't even need the target lock, but there it is. And that is Chiraneau gone.
All right, guys, if you want our thoughts, be sure to check in after a word from our sponsors. Hey, Matt, did you know that Atlantic Canada has a new gaming and tournament center in downtown Fredericton?
Yes, John, I did actually. Tell you what, I'd do even better. Check out the website yet. You can go on there, order X-Wing stuff online, get it shipped to you anywhere in New Brunswick or Nova Scotia. You've even got more locations to come soon. It's metagames.com, you should have a look.
So you're telling me that I can go online and order a bunch of T-70s for the integrated astromech, and it's going to get shipped right to my door?
Yeah, and once you got them, come on down Monday night. It's our free play night. Come in, meet all sorts of interesting people, nice big open play space. It's a really relaxing time. You should check it out.
That sounds awesome. What's the website again?
It's metagames.com, so metagames with a Z on the end of it.
Long live Metagames!
All right, and welcome back. So that was an absolutely, well, brutal.
I say that a lot, but that absolutely falls under the category of brutal.
That was, again, we said it before, well played by Gizmo there. Just, it is a little callous, but feeding his little snub fighters into Shane's Decimators, using them to distract, and to be annoying, because if you ignore them with Decimators, you're still going to take damage. It's going to add up. And playing Dash exactly the way he wants to be, just around the edge, right up until there's one ship left, and then chase after it.
That's absolutely flawless playing by Gizmo's part when it comes to just how Dash went. I feel that the other fighters, the snub fighters, could have been played a little bit better to really leverage their abilities in, and that was a little wasted. But all in all, he didn't need to worry too much about it. No. Dash carried a lot of that match, and those Decimators, they were fun. They were really goofy and they were great, but they just didn't carry the match for Spinny. They don't have the skill intensity to give you that excellent, amazing game that you need when you're pulling off against these really crazy fighters such as the YT-2400's Dash Rendar.
Yeah, they are a Decimator, and 2 especially. It's a sledgehammer. Sledgehammers, they're great on walls. Not so great on, a lot of other stuff.
Oh, I would have loved to see the Double Decimator fly into something like 4 TLTs, something like that. I think that would have been hilarious, just like running them over turn after turn, and then they're trying to stay within the range 3 band, and you're like, okay, fine, I'm just going to blast you and Darth Vader you and do all of this other crazy stuff. Oh, I'll stress you out too when you're within range 1 of Mara-Jade. I think that would have been hilarious, going up against something that is just as slippery as Dash, not something that the Decimator wants to see. Though, it was a really good match, absolutely brutal, and I hope to see what other concoction that
these players will come up with,
these
for
players,
sure.
Yeah, exactly. Drunk Spinny is a hilarious one.
Well, guys, as always, thanks for watching Wookiees on X-Wing. Be sure to like and subscribe. We've got videos out here every Wednesday.
We are part of the Northern Gaming Network. Be sure to check it out at northerngamingnetwork.com, where we have additional content for this game and others.
And if you guys want to get a hold of us for whatever, John here is going to tell you how we can do that.
Well, you can find me at Corhath, but you can also find us on Twitter at NorthGameNet, or you can like us on Facebook to keep up with our most recent news.
And we'll see you guys next week.